Good afternoon and welcome to this update on our plan to invest American Rescue Plan state and local fiscal recovery funds in our community. This historic legislation, and particularly the direct funding that it allocated to state and local government, has provided critical support to communities across the nation, including Lincoln and Lancaster County. The American Rescue Plan has delivered immediate relief to families and bolstered the city and county's work to support a diverse, thriving, and growing local economy. And on the city side, we are deploying close to half of our American Rescue Plan funds to assist small businesses and to support workforce development. And to date, we have prioritized investments that have granted nearly $7 million to over 250 small businesses in Lincoln. And these businesses represent over 2,800 employees in our community. And 42% of these employers are micro businesses, which received $1.5 million of the funding. Now, last month we announced that $12 million had been allocated in competitive grant funds. We awarded those $12 million to 6 organizations and affiliated agencies to help workers impacted by the pandemic gain new skills, find new opportunities, and help our city grow. And over the next 3 years, we will see those programs develop skills to enhance current and future workforce for industries including childcare, health sciences, information technology, manufacturing, welding, and youth employment. At this point, I'd like to turn over to County Board Chair Deb Shore to explain how American Rescue Plan funds have been allocated on the county side. Welcome, Commissioner.
Thank you very much, Mayor. On the county side, I am once again excited to announce that Lancaster County has awarded $15 million in ARPA funds to 20 local nonprofit entities impacted by the pandemic. These funds have already begun to aid nonprofits in providing vital resources and opportunities to residents in need, including food, housing, utilities, mental health care, child care, racial equity, and victim safety. In line with ensuring our community's needs are met, we have allocated $3.5 million to public health and $4 million to community correction projects that will enhance behavioral health capacity in our community. Lancaster County has also committed $10 million to support the development of broadband infrastructure in rural Lancaster County. As I speak, we are reviewing engineering proposals to begin the process of delivering essential broadband services to household and businesses across the county. Finally, we recently announced a $2 million commitment to support Lancaster County Rural Water District No. 1 for their 2021 water improvement project. This funding represents Lancaster County's commitment to attract new economic opportunities to our community and ensure that the Rural Water District can meet the growing water needs for decades to come.
Thank you, Commissioner Shore. Over the course of the past year, these critical investments to support our economy and to support nonprofit partners have helped ensure that Lincoln and Lancaster County are growing and prospering in a way that is truly enviable across the country. The American Rescue Plan has been instrumental in helping us meet the immediate critical needs of our community and lift up our neighbors through direct relief funding. At the same time, this historic legislation helps invest in our future, providing us with funding to accelerate our economic recovery and growth. Our partnership with Lancaster County to allocate these dollars where they could be the most effective was outlined last summer, and as with any dynamic plan, ours has changed just slightly to respond to our current conditions and the finalization of rules and regulations by the federal government earlier this year. So today we want to provide a brief update on the minor changes to our plan going forward. The partnership between the city and county to limit the amount of competitive or duplicative funding from our local governmental funding streams has been a great success. And at this time, I want to acknowledge that we also have Commissioner Krista Yoakum here, and we're really grateful to her and the rest of the county board, as well as to our city council who've helped us inform this package. And at this time, we're going to ask Commissioner Shore to come back up and discuss some of the adjustments that the county has made with their direct funding plan. Back to you.
Thank you. As the mayor explained, Lancaster County has made some minor adjustments to our overall funding plan that I'm pleased to announce will benefit residents in Lincoln and Lancaster County. First, we have allocated $2.5 million to fund the replacement of culverts on roads in rural Lancaster County. This project will allow water to flow more quickly and efficiently following heavy rain events, protecting our road infrastructure and improving safety for the constituents traveling in the county. Second, we have allocated $1.5 million to assist rural fire districts in upgrading their radio systems to improve our rural first responders' ability to effectively communicate with each other and the 911 center. Finally, Lancaster County has partnered with the city and invested $1.5 million to expand commercial air service at the Lincoln Airport. Similar to our original funding allocations, these adjustments will provide significant improvements in the health and safety of our expanding community and provide continued support of our tourism and business industry. All right. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you again. So the city has made some minor adjustments to our funding allocations, almost exclusively because of the clarifications that were included in the federal rules related to the program that were issued in February. The most notable is an increase in our plan to use a standard allowance for general government services, also known as revenue replacement. In the original version of the program, cities and counties were required to utilize a formula to justify the use of American Rescue Plan dollars to support their regular governmental work based on a calculated revenue losses. Lincoln found itself in a unique situation where the passage of our quarter-cent sales tax to support the Lincoln on the Move street funding program that was passed in April of 2019 limited our ability to claim these dollars for more flexible uses. Well, with the new regulation, we are able to invest in programs that saw significant revenue losses, like our parking program, and those programs that saw fee reductions, as well as regular city work, like infrastructure development. Another change to our program is a restructuring of our plans to support the tourism industry in our community. Within the initial guidelines, it appeared that we could provide support to capital projects for tourist attractions, including those that had not existed during the pandemic. With further legal analysis of the final rule, we were advised that a restructuring of the grant program to provide support to existing local tourist attractions based on their revenue losses and to provide general operating support was a cleaner and easier way to assist them going forward. We're really grateful to the applicants who submitted some exciting ideas for the future of tourism in Lincoln, and we'll be making a formal announcement regarding the new program in the coming weeks. So our updated plan, it acknowledges the $3 million that the county and city have pledged to support the expansion of air service at the Lincoln Airport, another tourism and business industry support. And finally, you will note some minor adjustments in the small business assistance and workforce development categories. We are investing $1.5 million in the build-out of a new American Jobs Center and have attributed that investment here, bringing the total of workforce investments to $13.5 million. And our small business assistance line item has been adjusted to reflect the changes in allocations among our other critical programs. We're still developing the best way to create an impactful program to utilize the remaining $2.1 million in that small business stabilization program. Our website has been updated to reflect the new allocations for our shared program. And with that, Commissioner Shore and I would be happy to take any questions.
Is there still some unallocated money? I felt like there was like a pot in the tourism that was allocated for tourism in these future projects. Is the money coming out of there?
We do have some funds for tourism that are not yet obligated because of the Treasury's final rule that they provided earlier this year. That's the grant program that we are revamping. And we'll be making announcements about the criteria and reissuing a call for applicants.
Or for existing projects?
Existing, we're going to be looking at existing projects.
You were considering future projects, and now you've decided that existing projects is better follows the guidelines?
That's correct.
Is that right?
We had the law team review the final rule and help us interpret it so that we can, provide funding and make sure that we won't have to return a single cent. We want to make sure it's invested wisely in the industry.
So can you give some examples of they have to be tourism programs? I mean, what sorts of programs would be eligible for this, I guess?
And I'm going back to the training we've all received from Jeff Mall, the Convention and Visitors Bureau. It would be anything that brings heads in beds and feet in sheets. So, you know, an expansion of maybe, let's say a public art project or a public art weekend or anything that, an expansion, anything that we can be doing to get people to return to Lincoln, stay in our hotels, you know, enjoy our attractions and eat in our restaurants. So it's providing existing support to entities to expand their programming for tourism recruitment.
Okay. And how much money is allocated for this?
Well, right now, we're looking at, on the city side, 4.3 million, and on the county side, I see 11 million allocated, for a total of 15.3 million of our American Rescue Plan. Okay, apology. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Keo Fawara would like to ask, would you be more specific how the help for the airport will be used, such as flight subsidies, help with terminal construction?
It's a better question for the airport authority now that there's been some changes at the state, but initially it was envisioned as minimum revenue guarantees, ways to attract more air service so that we have more flights coming in and out of Lincoln. More flights brings more people, helps support our businesses and our community and our local economy. Any other questions?
Do you have any idea yet whether the city and the county will apply for any of the rental assistance funds, assuming since the state isn't taking those funds, my understanding is the city and county is eligible for a portion of that. And do you know whether the city will, do you have to go through an application process for that, or are you going to try and get some of that money?
I don't have an update on that at this time, I'm sorry, but we continue to provide emergency rental assistance and utility assistance currently for people in Lincoln, and that has been largely led by urban development and a partnership with UNL Center for Children, Families, and the Law, and a number of nonprofits in our community who are able to help facilitate those resources to people in need. Okay. Any other questions? All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you, Commissioner Shore, for your leadership. And thank you, Commissioner Yocum, and to the rest of the county board and the city council for helping to put together this joint plan to deploy these dollars efficiently, equitably, and in a way that supports our local economy. Thank you.